people! Welcome to Blue Dragon Art, a channel where I, the self-proclaimed Blue Dragon, like to talk about a variety of art-related topics. My primary focus revolves around indie webcomics, including my own free, not safe for work, post-apocalyptic, magical girl fantasy, Dark Horse. Listen to all them tags. Links for that are down in the description. This week's topic, I'm actually going to be gushing over a crossover collaborative image that myself and StudioEverGreenArt worked on together. And when I say we worked on it together, let me tell you, StudioEverGreenArt did most of the heavy lifting. At the end of the video, I'll actually reveal what the collab looks like, so stick around until the end. But, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start with what a crossover is. Oh, what's that you say? You already know it's where two or more stories cross over into each other's stories and have their characters meet? Well, of course you knew, dear viewer. Of course you were well aware of that. I knew you already knew. But did you know that this specific crossover is of Lin from the indie webcomic I Love You Lin Peckett and Kana from my comic Dark Horse? What's that you say? What are those? Well, let me tell you all about it. Actually, I'm going to tell you all about I Love You Lin Peckett, and you can learn more about my comic, Dark Horse, by checking out the video that StudioEverGreenArt did on this crossover, and that link is down in the description, or if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll have it hovering in the iCard. If I remember, I'll remember this time. I've got it written down on a note. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I Love You Lin Peckett is a story that takes place in modern day, but with like a variety of mythical creatures. It's following our protagonist, the chicken harpy Lin Peckett, who you've been watching me draw in the background of this video. Lin's got a burning desire to become a fashion designer, with a passion for sewing and creating unique styles. But when her hopes are dashed by a possible and very tactless employer, Lin flees the shop, only then taking notice of a letter that she'd received that morning from a secret admirer. Will Lin attain her aspirations to design clothing? And who is this secret admirer helping her regain her motivation? So Lin Peckett is a really cute comic that you all can check out on ComicFury right now if you click that link that I have down in the description. Magnus, the brains behind Evergreen Art, has an eye for color and great character design. Actually, he's got like great design in general. If you go check out his website, I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But yeah, it's a really cool design with all of these mythical beings that are living in this world. He does really well combining the human aspects with the mythical creatures, in my humble opinion. And I am totally rooting for Lin to pick herself up and keep at her dreams, because people are going to tear your stuff down, and you've got to really do your artwork for yourself while also trying to come up with something, if you want the fame, trying to come up with something that is a crowd pleaser while also pleasing yourself, if that all makes sense. As I'm talking to a fictional character. Okay, I'm okay. Don't worry about me, y'all. But there's other characters in this story as well that so far we've been introduced to, and that I have a sneaky suspicion, well, more than a sneaky suspicion because I went to the cast page, but that I have a suspicion are going to be playing a larger role as the story moves forward. Edith is one of those characters. We've gotten a glimpse of her in the comic, and she's got a description on the cast page, but she's someone who really seems to be stuck over where she wants her life to go. She's kind of working a dead-end job, and it's only after Lin receives this rejection that they're going to be meeting up with each other, and in some way their futures are going to be entangled with one another. So I'm interested to see exactly what's going to happen next. I've been enjoying the story since long before this collaboration came up, so I definitely recommend it to anyone who's a fan of fashion, anyone who likes mystery, because we don't know who the secret admirer is, where did this come from? Or also if you like heartwarming tales of characters surmounting their own obstacles to achieve their dreams. Definitely gonna have some warm feels, I believe, in this comic, so check it out if that's something that's up your alley. It's also still in its early stages, which to me I feel is advantageous because there's not like too many pages up just yet, and so it's easy to jump on board. The reading is very easy, the story is easy to follow, the paneling is laid out very well, and when you're starting out at what's essentially the beginning of a story, I feel like sometimes it's a little easier, can be a little daunting if you look at something that's got like 1,000 pages. Maybe you might be less interested in starting it because it feels like that's a lot to read, but it's not if you read it in a couple chunks. But I understand like being intimidated by a lot of pages on a webcomic. But this one is pretty much starting out early, so I definitely suggest checking it out now so that you can keep caught up with the story. A little bit of commentary on my part of the collaboration. I had a lot of fun sketching Lin. I actually sketched a couple images of her in my sketchbook before tackling it, and if you've been watching the video along with the audio, you probably noticed that I started the sketch of Lin where she was more forward-facing, but I didn't like how things were turning out, so I kind of scrapped that idea, and then I started over, and I stuck with the second idea that I had. But to be honest, if I'm going to be critical of myself, I really feel like my sketches in the sketchbook look a little better than the finished piece, but I did my best. This was kind of a new body type for me, as most of you, if you've been following along with my art, I haven't been as experimental as I should be with different body types, and so when this collaboration, when this was proposed to me, I was actually really excited to take up the challenge of drawing a character, drawing an anthropomorphic character, something that I don't really do a lot of, although eventually we are going to have characters, you know, in Dark Horse that are anthro because they're, you know, part of the Fae, but I digress. But this was a really good challenge for me because it got me a little bit out of my comfort zone and is helping me learn how to draw different body types, which I think is important. Plus, it was just a great design, so it was fun having a stab at drawing somebody else's character. So I had a lot of fun with this. Lin, I think, is just super adorable. I love her design. I like her personality thus far, and I'm rooting for her. I'm in her corner. I said I was going to talk a little bit about this earlier. Dudes. Universal dudes, y'all. His website is frickin' sleek. It is professionally designed. There's music. There's all kinds of really cool extras on the I Love You Lin Peckett website. So even if you end up that you don't really, maybe this isn't your story, your type of story, I suggest checking out the website just because there's so many cool things to view. It's just really well designed. You can really tell there's a lot of passion behind this comic, so just check it out for that, if only. He's also got like Ginger Root playing. I love the shit out of Ginger Root. Such a great band. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all the final piece. This is what it looks like. And again, I am a total slacker, y'all. I really only contributed the image of Lin and a couple of the poorly drawn tables in the background, the nicer ones. Everything was pretty much put together by StudioEverGreenArt. I did very little, so most of the credit needs to go to him. But I want to thank him for this opportunity because it was a lot of fun. Hopefully next time I'll be able to contribute a little bit more than my poorly drawn background tables. But I do want to thank StudioEverGreenArt for the opportunity to participate in this collaboration. He did a great job drawing Kana. I am absolutely flabbergasted at how fantastic she came out. The clothing, spot on, looks super 90s. I like the hat. Actually, I used to have a hat like that, legit. I used to have a hat like that. But everything that he did to put this together, just a really great experience. Really liked working with him, and I think the collaboration turned out pretty well. So thank you for that opportunity. Y'all out there, go check out I Love You Lin Peckett, or go check out his version of the crossover that he shows himself drawing my character, Kana. Link for that, again, is down in the description. I also had it in the iCard earlier on. You can still click the little I button and it should pop up. I'm out of here for this week, but remember everybody, peace and love, fare you well, and keep on trucking.